This isn't your typical podcast, my nigga. I don't hold my tongue for shit, and neither do the men around me. If you're looking for something a little bit more vanilla, I highly advise you to turn this motherfucker off, cause we about to talk that shit.
Everything XL.
Open the spill, bro, and I cannot remember that motherfucker off the top of my head right now.
I got you.
Bro, I'm slipping.
This isn't your typical podcast. I don't hold my tongue for shit, and neither do the men and women around me. If you're looking for something more vanilla, I highly advise you turn this motherfucker off, because we about to talk that shit. It's something like that. I was like 95%.
All right, bro, and you know we running with that. We running with that. All right, man, y'all heard him. Jason, cameraman, my guy, I greatly appreciate you because I'm over here sweating like a motherfucker.
Nah, it's all good.
I feel like a jackass and some other shit. Hella unprofessional, hella not ready and some other shit. But, yeah, man, y'all heard him. That's the spiel. That's what we rocking with. But y'all know how we kick this shit off before we start this podcast. Let's give a shout out to some of our sponsors. Pretty Dope Xperience. If you want dope music, you got to go out and get it. Go download the app and tap in with my peoples. If you need a haircut and you in the town, tap in with Kingdom Kuts. They over there on 7529 Northeast Glisan Street, Portland, Oregon. If you need someone to come through with them good eats, cater for you one time, whatever event, tap in with my homegirl Chris on Instagram at Fiyah Fusion Foods. FIYAH Fusion_Foods on Instagram. Jenn Got Cakes, Flight Lounge PDX on Instagram. If you want to get out in the community, we got 2 locations for you. 5427 Southeast 72nd Ave, Portland, Oregon, or 5944 Northeast Sandy Boulevard, Portland, Oregon. Also, if you need a tow, you ever in the jam, tap in with my peoples. Tow Zone, Vancouver. 1505 Columbia Street, Vancouver, Washington, 98660. Jay, what's going on?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Are you doing good? You doing great?
I'm doing great. I would say I think 7 out of 10 is a cop out. You got to either pick a 6 or an 8. I'd have to go 8 out of 10.
You really do feel that way?
Yeah, trying to be more optimistic. I could probably dwell on like 10 things and make it less, but yeah, I think I'm an 8 right now if you don't press me on it.
All right, work cool though?
Yeah, it's picking back up and shit,
My guy. Well, today's a special podcast. I feel like it's a special one. I got somebody dope here with me. Got a new visitor, new guest. It's a man of many hats. OG of the town, someone that a lot of people look up to, someone that a lot of people dislike, you feel me, for many reasons. But my man, OG Cool Nutz.
What's up with you, bro?
What's going on?
Shit, chilling.
Man.
Right on for having me.
I wouldn't say we've done a lot of shows. I feel like we've done a lot of networking through the internet. I've gotten a chance to meet Brother Man many times, shared a few stages here and there, and you feel me? I've went and performed for a few of his events and shit like that. Real close with DJ Fat Boy. But it's not about how we met. It's about this man right now. I can't tell you about him, so I'm going to let him tell him about him. Nuts. How did the name Cool Nutz even come about?
Man, people think it means like my nuts are cool, but it doesn't. It basically means cool, but could be crazy. Because, I'm not super laid back, but then I'm not super energetic. You know what I mean? It's like the cool medium, basically. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's how the name came about, because I wanted to come up with something that kind of described who I was, but at the same time, people think, well, it kind of has a double meaning. like Cool Nutz, but Cool Nutz, but could be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So people don't never really know what it is or who you are until they get a chance to really come fuck with you.
Exactly.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
Because you're going to end up making an ass of yourself one day. Trust me, I've been there.
Real.
I done been there a few times. At what age did you hop off the porch?
In what way?
And any, as far as hopping off the porch into whatever part of the game you might have hopped into, or as far as the music?
Man,
how deep do you want to go with the people?
I feel like, well, I came up in a time, man, when typically, of course, when you say off the porch, it means, into the streets. I grew up in Portland when it was, the real Northeast Portland, when you had to actually be out in the streets. You had to be around. You had to be on the scene, whether it was musically or whether it was even proving yourself. Of course, we came up in a time when gangs started, when crack hit Portland, watching families, get affected by that. But then also being young cats when it was around us. So like I would say, we were in high school. In high school is when everything kind of started popping, like the first murders, first real impact of gang banging. And then right after high school is when, we had cars, we had, work, was, out there getting it. You feel me?
Right.
So that I would say like the late 80s to the early 90s is when in Portland it really kind of came in and it was just around. Like unless you were just you could be a square prep jerk basketball player or whatever, but still be in the streets in Portland because it was just around you if you was in North or Northeast Portland. So for me, I would say like the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like is when it was prevalent, and everybody that I was growing up with, I mean, if you grew up in a certain neighborhood, you kind of couldn't escape it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so
when you said high school, the people watching, if you know me, I'm not necessarily born and raised in Portland, but with the time that I have spent here, I do know like the rivalry thing when it comes to high schools is a real big thing out here. What high school did you ride with?
I went to Grant.
You went to Grant?
So yeah, so you always had Grant Jeff, you know what I mean, Grant Benson. Those were the prominent schools in the PIL. Like if you were in Portland, like all the cats from the north went to Roosevelt, Northeast, Jeff, Grant, and then Benson. Those were the schools, and then you also had other schools like Madison, Franklin, Lincoln, Wilson, Marshall, and those schools. But if you talk about like the schools that kind of ran the PIL, ran North and Northeast Portland, you talking about Grant, Jeff, Benson, you know what I'm saying, and then you had cats that came from Roosevelt, you know what I'm saying. And then you had cats that ended up at Lincoln, like real hood cats that was at Lincoln.
Cause isn't Lincoln and Benson like a what do you call it? Not a college prep?
Benson was a tech school. Lincoln is just like downtown, and what would kind of be like PIL, rich kids from Southwest Hills and
for the people that don't know what PIL is, what is that?
Portland Interscholastic League.
That's a hell of a fucking name.
Yeah, so that's the PIL.
Okay, so when it comes to like during your time being in high school, was the rivalry thing like was it ever like physical and stuff like that, or is it just all about like football and sports and stuff like that?
It was all about basketball, football, even track. But then once kind of the gangs came in, then it got physical. You know what I mean? Like if you went, Grant had certain cats that went there. Jeff had certain cats that went there. So you had like the gang started kind of impacting kind of relationships at basketball games and football games and after the games and then you start having more of a police presence and all of that. So that's where all the actual real deal like physical rivalry came in.
When do you think? Not when do you think? When around what time did the police presence start becoming a thing at the football games?
Probably like I would say like 88, 89. You know what I mean? Like when stuff got in full swing. You know what I mean? Like at that point, bro, it's like banging was really, it was going like full throttle. Like in Portland, it was, like, if you was on a bus wearing red or blue, and cats got on the bus, or if you got off the bus in certain places wearing some red, you're going to have cats saying something to you. Same thing wearing blue, like it was, the climate was getting there at that point.
It was heavy.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Especially after like Colors came out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, once you started having California cats infiltrating Portland and coming up here, then you start seeing just more, the culture started.
Was it just California people coming up here, period, or was it a certain kind that came up here first, like a certain gang?
I would say the Crips came first, and then the Bloods came. You know what I'm saying? And you just started, then you get the local connection with people tapping in, and then you start building a foundation of what you have now, which is the Portland neighborhood. So,
right,
yeah,
that is crazy. What was the first like authentic Portland hood that was birthed? If that makes sense.
I mean, for me, I think like some of the first ones that you really like when you think about Portland, you got to think like CVC, of course, like Pop Life.
What is that?
That's the Bloods. Like Pop Life was like the first Bloods. Then you had, of course, the Kirby's, then Woodlawn. Then like those were some of the original like ones that came on first. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the Ville was its own thing. Then, of course, then you spawn. If you was in Northeast, then you start seeing the Bloods, popping up.
Where was the divider line when it came to Northeast, or like St. John's and the Ville area?
Once you essentially cross basically MLK, bro. Like if you cross MLK, then you getting over. Like if you in Northeast, like Northeast 15th and all that, then that's pretty much all the way up to Woodlawn, those blocks on the 20s, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna pretty much be all Bloods. And once you crossed over to MLK, then you was gonna have, all the Crips over there.
Man, see, me being from Salinas, like there's not like, you can't hide. You can't like be over here and think that if you do something to a nigga, like, okay, I'm cool for a minute. You feel me? When it comes to like Portland, like I hear a lot of people say, oh, the town is small. The size perimeter is not small.
Yeah.
Or there's people that I done got into it with, or I just don't associate with no more, and ain't seen them in over a year. But we doing the same exact thing. Like if I was ever to talk to that person, I know they're still doing the same exact shit we were doing. I know you still going to the same exact places, you feel me? But ain't seen the motherfucker in over a year. How the fuck do y'all do that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
See, but it didn't used to be like that. It used to be like I said, like if you were in Northeast, that's where that's where you were, and you couldn't avoid certain stuff. If you was in North, you went to certain stores, you couldn't avoid certain stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like now you don't per se have the same neighborhood like sectors that you had. Like
Why is that?
Just because of gentrification and moving everybody out and outpricing everything and development, it pushed what would be the black community out to the numbers, out deeper into North Portland, over to Vancouver. And that's part of the reason why, like you said, when like you could not run into somebody, because if you stay where you at, they might live all the way out in Happy Valley or 181st or
and
something.
you can really maneuver in that area as long as you stay over there.
As long as you got a Safeway, a gas station, a McDonald's.
Dispensary.
Yeah, a dispensary, you good. You in your zone. But so you can live your life and not kind of run into cats. You know what I'm saying?
But if you leave 181st and you end up over on like 15th and Shaver or something like that, like you out of bounds, partner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you all the way out of bounds.
Exactly.
Let's talk a little bit about the music. Who was it that introduced you to music?
My first, of course, we grew up in music, so like breakdancing, DJing.
Who's we?
Me and Bosco. So it was always around because Bosco, like you know, like you got your partners that you always do certain shit with. So we was breakdancing, he was DJing, start producing. And then I had older cats that was around us they were rapping ahead of us, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I was like the little bro. And even how you talk about how the gangs impacted shit, like they were rapping, and then the gangs came in, and a couple of them kind of went off into the streets. And then, you know, Bosco was still doing music, and I was like basically still with him. And then I kind of became, me and him kind of became the focal point of, he was a producer, I was a rapper. And so
y'all were like Snoop and Dre.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it, because he produced, but he also rapped. But he was mainly my motivation. But in terms of true inspiration, I would say the first time I heard Run DMC, Rockbox, because it was the first time that I heard rap that wasn't kind of corny. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Run DMC was the first hard rap. And then of course from there, then you started having Cool G rap, Big Daddy Kane,
right?
LL. Then of course the West Coast. Then you had NWA, Ice-T, and all of them cats, King T, MC8, all of that.
See, that makes sense, because like when me and Jason was doing our homework, like when we was listening to Crush, like that had a very like strong East Coast presence to it, but it was like, he's not an East Coast nigga, you feel me? Mm-hmm. And I didn't really want to throw your age on it. Oh, he's just an old head, so he's gonna rap with his, you feel me, KRS-One type flow, you feel me? But yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You feel me?
Yeah.
Who around the time that you started rapping, are there still like some of your peers that are still in the game?
From rapping back then?
Yeah.
Like Maniac. Maniac was one of the people like that, I was inspired by Maniac because he also was one of the first like hood rappers from Portland. Mm-hmm. Of course, he's still rapping. Trying to think who else. J-Mac, who was in the U Crew. People don't always give him their credit. They was the first ones out of Portland to really pop.
The U Crew?
The U Crew.
Who's
yeah, that's J-Mac, Hakeem, Larry Bell, P. Cookie, and then Kevin. They had a group that was like on some like, like the Big Daddy Kane with the dancers and rapping. They was doing that back then, but they got a record deal, bro, and they went on tour and really like almost had a like, I think gold or platinum record. Was on BET, have videos on BET. But they was the first ones from the town to really put it down like that. But J-Mac still raps. Of course, people like DJ Chill, Pete Miser, who had 5 Fingers of Funk, but he's in New York now. Mike Crenshaw, Pricey, Versatile, Lifesavers, Libretto. Like those were all cats that like when Portland hip hop really started picking up, were kind of the faces. Kenny Mac.
Shout out to Kenny, man.
Yeah, when you talk about like 1995 on, like when the scene was really really kind of growing and flourishing back then.
So y'all were like the Mount Rushmores of Portland rap.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that Portland had a place, and I mean Portland was in a building process, man, where the infrastructure you have now of people doing shows that was built at that time, like proving that we had talent that could make it. Like what people don't understand is like I watch cats talk about ain't nobody did nothing for the city or nobody put on, or I mean like in 95, 96, 97, bro, we was putting 1,000 people in the building at shows for all local hip hop. You know what I'm saying? On a Wednesday you could do a show and have 300-400 people. So that's a Wednesday. That's a Wednesday. Like, and you can go ask Mike Crenshaw, ask Maniac, ask Kenny Mac, like what the culture looked like back then. Like the town really supported it. Like if you were really putting it down from Portland, the town really fucked with you. Like the town fucked with Portland hip hop. Like they would, like if you was in North and Northeast, like and Po Hop came, you had to come out. If you weren't around for that, you felt left out. So there was just a feeling of unity and a building process that was occurring at that time.
Do you feel like the unity back then with Portland local artists was tighter back then than it is now? And when I say tighter, like more together, more artists or individuals willing to work together back then than they are now.
Definitely, because there was more of a passion. Like it wasn't about money and managers and, you know, cats having a fake sense of popularity because of the internet. It was genuine. Like you had to really be out and prove yourself, bro. You couldn't sit on Instagram or Facebook and say you a rapper. You had to really be in the field, like really be out there putting your CDs in the store. If you was a street nigga, you had to be on the blocks. You had to be, you know, in the hood. Like people had to really know who you were.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they really had to know.
We was just talking about some stuff before you got here about the time that I first moved to Portland. I moved to Portland in 2001, maybe 2000, and that was the day that not to get off subject, but the two girls that went missing, the Ashley Miranda, I think, and they got buried in Oregon City. When I first came here, I remember getting off the plane and my dad taking me to like Wendy's or some shit like that. And when we pulled up to the Wendy's, it was a Cool Nutz flyer right there.
Yeah.
And it was one of like the colored ones with the basic just print name, show, Roseland Theater, you feel me? And from then, it was always you that I've seen with the old school, putting up posters, doing this, and just everywhere you go, you just seen some kind of, it didn't give a fuck if it was an actual picture, album cover, or it was print letters. Yep. You've seen your name all over the town and up on stuff. Where did you get that game from?
Man, my boy David Parks, who we started Po Hop together, he came to me with an idea and was like, he was like, he was watching what I was doing in terms of putting out music and saw the impact and influence I was having in the city. And he said, I had an idea. I want to use you basically as a vessel to help create this idea, which was Po Hop, because the city basically listens to you. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, I want to do a show called Po Hop where we put the Portland hip hop community up on the big stages, you know, like La Luna, the Roseland, all of that. And then he started showing me how the rock bands were promoting, because he was in a big rock band, but he was a brother from Indiana, but he also was super into hip hop.
Right.
So he started showing me the guerrilla promotion tactics that the rock bands would use. And so we just started incorporating that in what we were doing. So that's when you would see like blanket, like we would blanket the city with posters. Like if you'll wake up one morning and the whole hood from MLK to 15th to Fremont to MLK, all the way up MLK, all down Broadway, you know what I mean, Alberta, all blanketed.
Now, was there a reason why you chose those certain streets, or was it just whatever streets you can get done?
Nah, we would choose them because those were like, if you were coming up in like all the people like that drove, if you drove cars, if you rode the bus, you get off on 15th in Alberta. You get off on 15th in Killingsworth. You get off on the bus, you get off on MLK and Killingsworth.
So you were trying to get the people on foot.
Strategically, on foot, in cars. When you in your car and you stop at a stoplight on MLK and Killingsworth and there's a phone pole, you got to sit there and look at all those
yellow
Cool
paper
Nutz,
with the Cool Nutz.
March 23rd, Roseland Theater, or Cool Nutz Harsh Game coming, you know, May 12th, whatever. You had to look at it, but it has such a tremendous impact that it spoke volumes in the city. Because even right now, like you say, like you be like, man, I saw that poster, and that's something that'll stick out to everybody like over the years, like. And
that was 2000. Yeah, the year 2000. This is 2020.
Yeah,
bruh. I've remembered that ever since. You feel me?
Yeah.
That is just crazy. So Po Hop, how many years did that go on for?
14 years.
14 years.
And it really would be more than 14 years, but we took like a 2-3 year break hiatus because I just kind of got tired of the politics and the lack of appreciation for investing into certain things in the community with the goal of seeing it benefit the artists and benefit the community of building the scene, and just seeing the lack of appreciation and understanding of what was really being done for the city. Because you just have all the musical politics that I just got tired of it, bro. Because it's times when I'm putting $15,000 on my own money in the pole hop and might make $100 profit. You know what I mean? And you know, for something that at times I didn't even, you know, on pole hop at times I wouldn't even put myself on there to rap. I would let somebody else have my spot, because with us putting it on, they'd be like, oh, well, Cool Nutz always want to take this spot, but it's like, you can't contest that. It's like if E40's putting on a festival in the Bay.
You don't think he gonna perform?
he got to, like, for it to be, you know what I mean? For it to really be what it is, if you're talking about, you know, what speaks for itself, you know? So that's why we took a couple years off, but it would have been like year 17, 18 or something like that.
So when you talk about politics, what are some of the politics that got involved in or got in the way of pole hop or any kind of music stuff during that time?
I think, like, of course, rappers' egos is a politic. I feel like, of course, you know, the gang culture is a politic. And just like, man, really just, even just jealousy is a politic, you know what I mean, that you got to deal with, of people having a lack of understanding of what it takes to do something, people having a lack of understanding of people's motivation of why they're doing stuff, and even what the outcome could be if you have unity or you have a chain of command and the right people in place that are trying to see certain things happen for the city, not just for themselves.
Right. I want to tell a quick story real quick, and Jason's been waiting to hear this all motherfucking day. Kind of where the Macc, Milliaon, and Cool Nutz relationship kind of began to become whatever it is that it's started to become at that point in time. You remember? So there was an individual that had an issue with you. And I also had a issue with that same individual. I pulled up to the video shoot to check bruh temperature. The temperature was obviously cool as fuck. He didn't want no problems. Bro, get in the video. Boom. I get a message from you at like 12:30 on Facebook. Fam, you up? Yeah. What's your number? I gave it to you immediately. This man called me. You know, me and this man was on the phone from like 12:15-ish, 12:30 at night to like 3 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. The reason why you had called me, you wanted to check my temperature and see if I shared the same views as the individual that had did the song about you. Do you remember?
What song was it?
What the fuck was his name? The name of the song? We just looked it up, bro. I don't know. It was, to be honest with you, I don't even remember the name of the song, but it was one of those ones where someone was coming at your neck for being the big dog in the town and you not looking out for them and shit like that. He was on some crybaby shit. With that being said, do you feel like it's your responsibility to help put people in position because of the plugs or the knowledge that you do have?
I don't feel like it's my responsibility. I think that I fell into a place where I kind of took on that responsibility. And from me taking on that responsibility and me helping people, it gave people a certain level of expectation. And also from, I would say, like, the successes that I've had with my own career, people feeling like I'm in the way of what they were doing. I'm stopping them from making it. And they also have a misconception of, like, when you have influence or power, what you doing with it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I think, tend to feel like I'm sitting over here like, let me look at how I can stop this person from doing this, that, and the third. But the disturbing thing about that is nobody in this city, nobody has put people on more shows, more radio waves, sat down with more rappers, had conversations. And even when like you said, when Cass is coming at me, having conversations with and I'm gonna say it like with dumbass rappers that want to have a problem with me over something stupid, you know, like somebody saying, you ain't never trying to put me on, you ain't look out, and it's like, nigga, I got 20 rappers hollering at me about putting them on, and
same shit.
And you ain't called and tried to have a conversation to say, hey, Nutz, can I sit down with you? You know what I'm saying? Right. The same way me and you talked when last week or the week before when I'm at Mount Tabor doing my workout, and me and you have a conversation about your project, right. Things you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we having a regular conversation. You feel me? Like, and I'm not gonna tell this nigga no game. Like, nah, let me tell bro what can help. You know, and I've been doing that for years. But from what people say, you would swear like I'm sitting over here like holding all these hookups, not sharing them. But like I'm on mainstream radio, and I'm putting almost every rapper who's a who's who on the show. I'm getting radio edits. Then we putting on shows. We putting them on the penthouse parties. You feel me? Then
mentioned that I'd never been on.
You ain't never been on one? I thought you had been on one.
Man, you ain't never seen no Macc Milliaon on no.
You rapped on one with somebody else though, didn't you?
No.
Oh, then then you should have been on there. Oh yeah, did you reach out?
Nah, I ain't reach out.
All you gotta do is reach out.
See, I always thought the penthouse shit was one of those things where like, okay.
Nah, not at all. It was based off of either like, if cats got at me and got me songs, then I put them on based off that. Or if cats reached out and was like, bro, when can I get on the penthouse party? Then I, put them on because it's times when I've reached out to cats and they be like, oh man, what it pay? Or, or cats don't show up or stuff like that. But what I'm saying is like a lot of effort has went into sharing resources and hookups and opportunities. And at times, you feel like it becomes a convoluted and confusing perspective when you start dealing with, like, honestly, rappers, man. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like, and just this is my opinion on the situation. I feel like a lot of people say or feel like you said, you're getting in the way or you're holding opportunities from people and the shit like that. Me being who I am and where I'm from, like when it came to me wanting to do music, I didn't know who the fuck Cool Nutz was. Mm-hmm. I didn't know nothing about Portland. You feel me?
Yep.
So how can me having that dream and you feel me, just to want to do music, when I come here, why and how in the hell do I let another man stop me from doing what I want to do?
Because I think people, instead of like you building your own machine and making your own machine pop, other cats have a vision that somebody is supposed to do it for them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like somebody's supposed to do it for them. Somebody's supposed to look out. Somebody's supposed to put them on. But the confusing part about that is you expecting somebody to do something for you that you would never in a million years do for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my biggest thing is like some of the stuff, like if I sat down with 10 rappers that would say, oh, Nutz don't look out, Nutz don't do this, Nutz don't do that. I could say, well, what have you done for 10 other rappers? What have you done? What have you done for anybody outside your circle? Have you put anybody on a show? Have you gave them some game? Have you taken them out of town? Have you plugged them with a number to a promoter? Have you given them an email to the writer at Willamette Week or Portland Mercury? What have you done for 10 people outside of your circle that you ain't gonna benefit from if something happened with them? What have you done for them when they called you or if they didn't call you? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what they have false expectations of shit that's not reality. It's delusional, bro. It's like, and entertainment makes it even harder because it's an ego-driven thing of cats that feel like they could see you doing something, and even what you doing could be bigger than what they doing, and they could sit at home and say you ain't shit and watch you doing something, you know what I mean, versus reaching out and saying, bro, how can I tap in with you? First thing they're gonna say, oh man, that nigga weak, he ain't shit, man. Right. You know, that's what creates the issue, I think, is cats would rather hate before they build. Not all cats, but some cats would rather hate before they build because they not a part of something. They see something moving, And before they would try to say, how can I contribute or bring something to that table, they'll want to tear it down because they're not a part of it.
Okay, but let's throw a little twist in there. What about the ones that's already in the camp?
That's another thing about ego and jealousy and I think even sometimes insecurities. Oh, I'm good. I think insecurities create a situation where, say you have a camp of people and we could all wear the same pair of shoes. We could all wear Air Force Ones. But because you chose to dog yours quicker than I chose to dog mine, you know what I'm saying? You get mad because, damn, his sneakers are still crispy. So then you start festering a little thing. We go somewhere, I walk in, all the females is like, man, that nigga dipped,
Right.
And then, but you feeling like, man, why he dipped? Why, what, gonna look out for me? Why you ain't making sure I'm right? So you another man, you expecting somebody else to make sure you right.
But see here, and this is where people fuck up. Instead of feeling like, why don't you got to do something for me, nigga, learn to take care of your shit better.
Yeah,
it's a you thing, not a him thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that's those false expectations of somebody expecting you or even sitting around like.
But how can you have the expectation if nothing was ever discussed for you to expect?
Think about this, bro. Think about how many times, say, if we in a room of 10 people and you come in and you got a pound of weed, it's going to be people in the room that's going to feel a certain way simply because you got a pound of weed. And you could be smoking it with them.
But and you got the pound.
But you got the pound. You might have hustled for it. You might have hit a lick for it. Right. Somebody might have just blessed you with it. But you're going to have 6, probably out of the 10 people in that room, you're going to have 4 people that's going to be happy for you. Man, bro came through with the pack, man. Oh, we smoking big all night. Man, you need me to go get a bottle, bro. Get a bottle, we will blow big. And somebody else will be like, man, I'm going to go get the hose,
Right now.
Man, we got hose, drink, and weed. You know what I mean? Oh, nigga, you came through with the bomb. He got the drink, we got the hose. Man, I'm going to go get some Popeyes. But then you're going to have 4, 5 other niggas mad because you came through with the weed, another nigga came through with the chicken, somebody else got the hose, and somebody else came through with the drink. And they gonna sit and drink and smoke, eat, try to fuck on somebody, and then still be mad and hate.
But don't drop the ball there. If I came with the weed, my nigga came and went and got some bottles, cuz went and got the motherfucking Popeyes, you feel me? What are you gonna go do?
Nothing.
Bro, you dropped the ball. That's your bad.
But it's gonna be mad about it. You feel me?
Right.
So that's what becomes the problem, is that's just a fucked up mindset. How you gonna be mad? Like, that's what I call it, a Disneyland, like a Disneyland. I call it the Disneyland issue, because it's, say I pull up to your house in a Bentley, and I say, hey, bro, we finna ride the Bentley to Disneyland. But you mad because you not driving the Bentley. So the whole way, every time we stop and get gas, you putting sugar in the tank. I'm like, hey, bro, you like, oh, bro, I put the gas in there, but why you putting the gas? You putting sugar in the tank.
Right.
So by the time we get outside of LA, the car done broke down. And then I'm like, bro, the car broke down. What happened? Oh, bro, I got it, man. Man, I got to go over here and fuck with my people. And you just going to leave me there. Because the whole time you was jealous. You wasn't happy that we all together and we doing something fly.
You mad that I'm the one that...
You mad at...
And I get that. Don't get it twisted. Like, I completely understand it. My thing is, I'm one of them type of people like, bro, no. You gonna be held accountable for that one. You know what I mean? They might not hold you accountable, but I'm not. If I understand something is wrong here, what kind of person does that make me to allow you to do something wrong in my face?
But that's part of the problem, is a lot of people won't step up and call up cats on it, bro. Like, that's what becomes a problem, is like, people will endorse sucker shit. That's my thing, is like, man, you don't gotta be the hardest nigga, you ain't gotta be the craziest. But if you could be solid and stand up and not endorse weirdo sucker shit.
You don't have to be a gangster to be a man.
Yeah, and to say, hey, bro, that's not cool. What you doing ain't cool. Like that man ain't, you know, like not just me, but anybody. Like, man, that man ain't did nothing to you. Like, what you hating for? What you mad? You know what I'm saying? What you even coming up with the weirdest ass scenarios out of nowhere? Like, niggas will come up with weird ass shit, and you be like,
didn't even talk to nobody.
Didn't talk to nobody. Didn't reach out to nobody, and it'll really come and say, he don't fuck with me, and he don't want to see me make it, and he ain't put me on for what?
I feel like that's a mental illness.
Yeah, it's that's the problem, bro.
What you think, Jay?
Damn.
He's just over there just soaking it all up, bro.
Man.
Look at it and just start like being like, oh, wait. Take some notes
For real, bro.
Spitting fire.
Man. So I got a couple questions. I wanna read some bars to you, and I want you to let me know what it was that you were thinking when you wrote these bars.
All right.
Dreams come like a bus. You ain't felt that pain till them dreams get crushed.
I feel like we talking about in this music thing, bro, like a lot of the stuff that we doing or did, it was fueled off of expectations of really achieving something. You know what I'm saying? And as you get closer to achieving your dreams, whether it be putting out records or getting a record deal or shooting that big video or getting that big feature, I think a lot of people have never been in situations where your dreams really, like being, having a record deal and having a label that you own that has paid you money, that's trying to put you in position, having somebody work for the company that basically would sabotage, your success.
Didn't that happen to somebody from here?
Shit, that essentially happened to us. Like, when we had our deal with Universal, we had a song called Walk to This that was getting steam in LA. And we were going to get the gimme at Power 106, which would have been where the mixers can play at any time. And at that point in time, if we would have got that gimme, we probably would have had a gold single or a gold record. And it would have changed the climate of what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were already doing shit, but it would have changed. It would have took it up here. And we go to the meeting, and we had a meeting, and the radio cat that went in there with us sat in, pushed our shit, everything. And then we left, doubled back and went back in there and told them, don't play our song, play another artist's song that's on the label, because they were coming off of a big record, and this was the first single off their second album, which put it against our record. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah. So when I say dream, have you ever felt that pain when them dreams get crushed, knowing that like somebody's holding your career in their hand and they can do something to crush it? And when you have to feel those type of things, a lot of these cats that talk about music, they ain't been in situations that are about
that's a situation.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, even $1 million, even situations that could be so pivotal to what you've been doing and what you've been investing to have. That's why like some of the shit around here that happens, even when cats say stuff or do certain shit, like truth be told, sometimes I really don't give a fuck, because it's minuscule on the scheme of, like, truth be, bro, like, cats don't know what it feel like to be in Amsterdam pushing your rapping, you know what I mean? Be in Australia rapping, be in Canada rapping, be in all these foreign places rapping from your music that came from Northeast Portland. So when it comes to like even niggas hating, it's like a lot of the times I could talk real big shit and
hurt feelings.
Yeah, and hurt feelings if I want to. But that's not how I got where I am. I didn't get where I am by like having to shit on niggas and or people in general, or you big me, little you. I got where I am by being humble, showing love and accepting people. Right. Even hating ass niggas. Like niggas I know that's hating or being haters. Like sit in my face and do the most fakest shit. Like, oh bro, big OG. Something and go behind my back. Bitch ass nigga, he ain't from the streets. He ain't never did nothing. Oh, sucker nigga.
And now are these like niggas my age or your peers?
I think it'd be like, because the thing is, you gotta understand, like for me, some of the stuff that I did for Portland, like we was the first ones, like in terms of like compared to what E40 was doing, we did that for Portland. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, like you couldn't come to Portland and not hear Cool Nutz. Right. You know what I mean? If you came to Portland, touchdown in the 90s, 2000, and you come to Portland, they say, well, who's doing it? oh, nigga, Cool Nutz. You can't, nobody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you couldn't.
You can't, like, and can't nobody, like, cats can say what they say, but you can't not say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to think, so from my era to the next era after that, to the, like, I done rolled a lot of eras out, bro, and I'm still here. So that's becomes the problem is, it'd be like, probably, I think sometimes it'd be like, damn, when this nigga gonna go away?
Right.
Like when you go to the nigga,
They
you
just
know,
hoping for your demise.
bro, you go to Wildin' Out. Nick Cannon come out. Coming to the stage, Portland's own Cool Nutz. Like
that's big.
That's a dagger, bro. Like that's if you a Cool Nutz hater, and you a nigga that's like, man, I'm tired of this nigga being here.
Right
and you
bro.
sitting in that arena, and they announced that on that mic with Nick Cannon saying it. That's a dagger. You feel me?
Right.
But at the same time,
you gotta go.
no. At the same time, you hoping that, like, you know, you hope that with all the stuff you do, that you literally get your praise and your credit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I know in my heart, I don't. That's my damn son calling.
No, you good.
No, it's cool. But you know in your heart that you always try to put your best foot forward.
Right.
You always trying to, like, look out for cats. You always trying to show love. You always trying to, like, accept and bring cats in. You know what I mean? Like, but so it crosses over to the old. Like, I was listening to some shit last night on one of those chat rooms, and cats is on there like, yeah, man, cause Cool Nutz put it down for the town, but that's not what I'm trying to be. And it's like, you wouldn't even be referencing it if it wasn't something that you was trying to be.
Right.
It was big enough for you to know. You feel me? Like, you had to know. Mm-hmm. So my whole thing is, like, one thing I'm not gonna do, if I hear something that's dope, or I know somebody actually put their work in and smash down, work hard, build some shit up, made moves, I can't take that from them.
So someone was speaking about you last night?
Yeah, it's one of them rapper discussions when they, you know, when Cass is on live and they had a little chat when they can pop somebody in, and when they talking about the town. You know what I'm saying? So the young cats, they have their own time. Like, that's the thing I'm not confused about. Mm-hmm. I'm not a young rapper, bro. I'm not. I still do this music for one because I love it and I'm still good at it.
Right.
I'm not doing it because I'm trying to compete with the young niggas. This music
but there's
is
nothing to compete with.
No, because what the thing is, this music thing is a young niggas game.
It is.
Feel me? Like, when you talk about influence and word of mouth and connectivity and relevance, the youngsters, I'm not finna be out here wearing all the little tight pants and.
But you're not just rapping though.
No, not at all.
You feel me? You're the thing about being a father. You feel me? Like you're gonna get it how you gonna get it. You feel me? So you're not just receiving a rap check, not to be telling your business, but the people that know you for the radio. You're doing what was it? The Coast to Coast, Pole Hop, like you was talking about. You got different.
These shows that up on your
man, you feel me? Like, come on, man. Like, my man is getting it for the fam. So for a motherfucker to feel like they need to hate on you based on the music aspect, that's kind of corny, because it's like, I'm not just a rapper. I'm a brother.
But the thing that bothers me the most is that I could see if I'm never doing nothing to give back. Right. Like, there's so many people, bro, that having been in some of my positions or having the influence in times that I've had, that would not look out for people. Greedy. Absolutely not, bro. They're going to look out for their partners. But when it comes to being non-biased, you know what I'm saying? You know your music been on the radio. Oh, yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And you can think how many rappers you can name you done sat there and listened to the radio that you done heard play that ain't my partners. Shit,
on Blue Aries, my last project, I have the clip of you shouting out my music.
Come on, bro.
Right before Wavy came on.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, when I will purposely set up cast records to be played, like, I'm gonna play this record next to Kendrick. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna play this record next to E40. I'm gonna play all these Northwest records next to the heavy hitters. Then not only we gonna do that, we're gonna do showcases at Ash Street. We're gonna do the penthouse parties. Then we're gonna turn around and do open for Boo Bomb contests for local artists. But then I'm a hater and I don't wanna see cats make it. If you get on stage at Boo Bomb in front of 9,000 people, and I play a part in that, of sitting there saying, yeah, let's put, any hating ass rapper is gonna say, Absolutely not. We're not going to give none of these Portland rappers a chance to get up there and rap for 9,000 people, and it's not going to be me. Think about how many cats, if they have a radio show, to how much of their music they going to play.
Man.
Some nights I don't even play none of my songs. Like, I play my stuff because people will hit me and say, Nutz, you got to play some of your music, bro. Like, people want to hear your music, bro. Like, don't.
But I see, as a kid, right, my dad used to tell me, with every great responsibility comes, I can't even say it right now, bro. I've been smoking this shit. With every greater power comes a greater responsibility. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, like, if I was a person that worked in the radio station that had that kind of a power, I would feel like I would be taking advantage of the situation if I really wasn't a greedy person. You feel me? A greedy motherfucker would be like, bro, fuck all y'all. I'm just Macc, Milliaon, back to back to back to back to back.
You know it's a lot of people that would do that and have no problem doing it. And that's the thing, is like, it takes a lot to calm even your own ego, bro, and know how to like handle certain situations with class and grace, and be able to show love to people, man, and know like, man, I got this network. Because sometimes I feel like I could have had certain things for myself if I was more greedy. But at the same time, I got more blessings because I wasn't greedy. Certain shit came back 10 times over because I gave other people shit, or people saw that, like, man, you know, he been in this position, but I know he let me come with him, you know, or I was on stage with him, I was backstage, or no, he let me open for 40 or open for Too Short or open for this rapper, or they cats call me, Ice Cube coming to town, bro, I would love to open for Ice Cube, you know, and I put the call in,
right?
You know what I'm saying? With no hesitation. But the thing is, would some of them people do the same thing for me? Absolutely not.
So do you think that the people that are speaking on you is the people that you haven't given the opportunity to?
No, some of them are people I have given opportunity to. Plenty of it.
Ain't that about a bitch?
People, bro, the thing is, people can never be, like, there's just gonna be cats that's never gonna be happy, bro. Like, that's what I learned, like, no matter what you do for them. I got cats that I put on their first airplane flight behind rapping, bro, and still say, you didn't look out. Like, cats that never been on an airplane, and you sit on a plane with them going to a rap show, and be like, and they telling you like, bro, this is my first time on plane, nigga. Yeah. And then 2 months later, they story a whole different story. It's like, nigga, I put you on your first flight that you didn't pay for.
Bro.
You feel me? And you're going to do a rap show. You're going to feel like a star for that night because we're going to be in Idaho somewhere and you're going to be popping your collar. But now you're saying nobody did nothing for you?
You need your ass whooped. The disloyal.
Yeah. And it's not even, I don't see, for me, bro, I understood it a long time ago that it's not even disloyal. It's a lack of understanding of, like, sometimes you want something so bad and you see either somebody else having it or it's close to you and you want it so bad that it creates, it puts you in a position where you do things where you go outside yourself. Because we all think like me and you, we could sit here and be like, see something and we might think something like, oh man, why he get that? But we might only think it, and then it just passed through your head. Right. But then you have the people that act on it. You know?
Them the worst ones.
Yeah, the ones where it's going to come out their head and out their mouth, and then they even going to go do some shit.
Like, bro, you was never supposed to say that. That was just
we were just, yeah. Or if we partners and we might joke about something, like we might say something funny, oh, bitch ass nigga, but then be like, man, nigga is doing it though. You be like, yeah, bro, nigga doing it.
You gonna talk them down and bring them up.
Yeah, because you might even, you all have your flash of ego moments or envy of something, but you reel it back in. Right. Some people can't reel it in. Like I said, we might joke about, laugh about it, but we're not finna go hate on nobody. Like, I might hit you, baby. Oh, you see him.
I can never like really just like hate or go out my way to hate on somebody. Like that's out of pocket.
It takes too much energy, bro. It takes too much energy to really see. This is be the real hatred. Is like, if somebody came to me and they say, "Hey, man, I'm thinking of putting Macc Milliaon on this show, and I'm gonna pay him $600," and I would blatantly just be like, "No, bro, don't get that nigga that money. Don't get him that money.
Like a motherfucker.
Don't get him that money, bro. Like, you should get that to such and such. My partner, he rap too. Like, don't, like that's that other level of when, like I said, when it comes out and you can't stop it. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. That.
But I had to start understanding it though. Of like, it's a thing where people want something, bro, and they really feel like I want that for myself, and I can't rationalize not having it.
So I got another question. If you wasn't doing music anymore, do you think the hate would still be there?
Probably not.
So as long as you're still doing music,
as long as I'm doing music, I think I get considered a threat. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we in a car race. If I'm driving and I can drive good, you know what I'm saying, and I'm going ahead of you, but then once I move to the pit, he in the pit. Now it's a new driver.
Right.
So now I might, if I'm this driver that was hating on you, I might come over, hey, what's up, bro? Man, you changed them tires? Oh, man, man, I'm finna get out here on the road. So now you're not on the track no more.
Right.
So you're not interference. You know what I'm saying? And cats really look at things like interference. Like there's enough room there was enough room for Nipsey and YG. There's enough room for the Game and Snoop. You know what I mean?
So when you talk about room, like, we're gonna call it how it is. Like, who else from the town is doing what you're doing though?
I feel like it's a hard thing because I've done stuff in a different era, in a different way than some people, and I feel like.
But the town still holds you up here.
Yeah, but I think because I'm still here, and I've built a place for myself in different ways, like you said, not just with music, but with the radio, with promoting concerts, with toy drives, with other things that are tangible but still music related. And even if it's not, but sometimes even if it's not music, like even if you see me on the news and we giving away turkeys, what are you on the news for giving away turkeys? What they need, why they need to cover Cool Nutz giving away turkeys?
You mad at the man for giving away turkeys, bro?
Yeah, because it's just the whole thing of you still there, you still on the track. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if I did less music, like if I just was like, oh, I'm gonna be a manager and just full-time management, then yeah, of course, you become less a threat. But I mean,
but you're still getting your chicken like you was when you was labeled a rapper. So is it the money or is it the position?
It's the position. Like most cats don't care about the money because a lot of rappers nowadays, bro, ain't seeing no real money from no rapping. Like on an independent, like on a local independent level, like you're not seeing no money.
What's considered real money?
Like money to live off of. Like if you was making like $3,000 to $5,000 a month, off your music, whether it's verses, distribution, digital, merch, touring, that you bringing in money to live off of, where you could say, I live off music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In a way where it's sustainable, where you can say, I live off music and I provide for my family off music. And I feel like a lot of people aren't doing that. But there are people in the city that are like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are cats in the city that are doing great things. You know what I'm saying? Like the Dre Steves, the Mike Bogan, the Cassos, of course, Amine. Like there's people, Artful Dodger, a bunch of cats, like, you know what I'm saying, that are doing things, that are making moves outside of even me.
Right.
The cats that do produce, they're doing something.
But I feel like the thing is that those are all rappers, from my understanding. But for being a rapper, they're not in here, they're not over there, they're not here, they're not there. You're gonna see Cool Nutz in any kind of situation, you feel me, that you roam into, whether it's music, the cooking with Trap Kitchen, and just like the all around network. You feel me? That Amine ain't doing that. He's teaming up to do stuff here and there, you feel me? But there's not nobody that's like just so involved in so much different things that it's kind of hard not to hear your name or see your name and stuff like that. So I feel like regardless, even if you did stop rapping, like you would still just be like, bro, fuck that nigga Nancy, bitch. You feel me? Like, bro, you're weird.
And I think that's the hard part, is because I built somewhat what would be an institution of not just music, but music business and being involved
Powerhouse.
In the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And on top of that, a lot of reasons why I'm in those positions, because I'm not hating or not not willing to share with people. That's how I end up in a lot of those positions, because I'm willing. Like how Trap Kitchen came about of us working together was Spank was here with Mikey. Spank came on the road with us and saw what I was doing with the music and was like, Nutz, I want to do the same thing with the food. You know what I'm saying? So it opened that door. I'm not, oh, no, bro, I'm not going to share, I'm not going. So then we start doing tours with the food. Now, when we going to do tours with the food, we on the road, I'm pushing him. I'm not pushing me. He's the star. When I tour manage for 40 or Burner, I'm not Cool Nutz, the star rapper. I'm working for one of them.
But see, that's my point right there. Like, if you're not the rapper, but you're the tour manager, you're still with these artists. Isn't that something to be mad at you about?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, because I'm not in the front. Like, and of course, like, yeah, man, I seen him over in London with, with such and such. That's true, because it's an extension. It is an extension. Why is
They're
he
just
over
gonna start hating you for that?
Why is he in London with krs-one or whatever? And it's like, but we work to get there. You know what I'm saying? You can't win for losing, man. It's what it really is. Yeah. Even if that's what bothers me the most. It's not the fact of people hating. It's like, I could see if I was stingy and selfish and didn't look out. But what bothers me the most is that I'm not, and you still gonna catch the scoring. It don't, you know what I mean? Like, you could bring everybody in and show everybody love and have everybody at the table eating, and then you still gonna have people that leave the table and say, man, how are you gonna serve with steak but not lobster tails? Okay.
I got an important question. Because when it comes to this platform, like, I want people to be able to come and get some game.
Yeah.
You feel me? Regardless if I got a chef up here today and we talking about different ways to fillet some shit. If we got an artist up here, we're talking about shading. But today we got Cool Nutz, music tour manager, promoter, all the shit. You feel me? So when it comes to you doing what you do, you feel me? I want the people to be able to, you feel me, feel like they watched or listened to the show and got some game. You feel me? So with that being said, is for the artists that don't know how to maneuver or get things done, and for the ones that do hate on you or say you don't do what it is that you do, if a motherfucker is gonna approach you or come reach out to you for help, you feel me, what are some of the things that they should have already in line before coming to come talk to you? Not in an asshole way, just bro, let's hurry up and get the ball rolling.
Some good music, have some good music, have an idea what you want to do, and be able to have a real conversation and understanding of what hard work and success could be. You know what I mean? And have realistic views. Like, because I think sometimes when people talk to you, they come to you and they think like, oh, you're gonna put me on or you're gonna do this. But like, no, I wanna put you in a position where you can go do stuff without me.
Right.
Where you can work without me. Where you can, because a funny story is my boy Champagne James. Like, he would hit me back in the days about getting on shows and stuff. And I would tell him like, bro, the best thing to do is build your own thing and build your own network, because then you're in control. You don't have to be up under me. You don't have to be under anybody. You can go book your own shows. You can make your own shit happen.
Right.
And he thought at the time I was kind of blowing him off. And so he started doing his own shows. And then he started seeing, man, I'm doing my own thing. And he came back and he said, man, bro, I didn't get what you were saying at first until I started doing my own shows. And I said, bro, that's all I was trying to tell you. I wasn't trying to hate on you or stop you. I was trying to give you understanding. You can do this and not need nobody, not need me. And we've done stuff together after that. You feel me? And he understood then, like, man, I know what Nutz was saying, in that I can build my own empire. And James did some great things. You feel me?
Bro, that's a good nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Champagne James. That's my guy, bro. Yep. He's responsible for a lot of the shows that I've been on. I done got some good game. It's crazy that you even say that, because I feel like not necessarily the fact of him wanting me to go do my own shows to learn like how you was telling him, but just being around him, doing business with him, and being on damn near every other show that he didn't put on, I've learned and picked up things that he was doing. And low key, like right before this whole Corona bullshit, like I came to bruh like, on that. You feel me? And he was giving me some game and trying to pitch a couple shows to me here and there, and Corona hit. You feel me? So it was like, I know me and bro gonna double back when this bullshit is cleared up. But yeah, bro, Champagne, good dude.
Yeah, but that's the whole point is sometimes cats gotta walk it to understand what you trying to tell them, you know what I mean? And he understood that once he started doing it, like, damn, this is what you was trying to tell me. And I was like, yeah, bro, I was trying to tell you, like, I don't want everybody depending upon me or thinking I'm not trying to show them, you know, trying to show them love or have them dependent upon me. I want to tell you, bro, you can go rent your own venue and bring your own artist. And once he did that, he seen, like, I can control my own.
The summer jams.
I don't need nobody. I'm gonna get my venues. I'm gonna bring artists. I'm gonna rent clubs. And James over the last, like, you know, 5, 6, 7 years has done some, you know, even longer than that.
Yeah, I was about to say like at least 8.
Yeah, it's been longer than that. So, but James has done some dope stuff, and that's on his own accord. Right. And did I stop him from doing anything? And there's been times when when venues was giving him a hard time and different shit, he'll call me and I'll be like, okay, bro, let me put in a call and set up this meeting for you to square it off, because I know I can speak for you, because I know you handle your business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he'll tell you that, like, when you can count and depend on somebody and know that they're professional, you can speak up for them and know that they're not gonna put you in a bad position. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that, because like, so just like how he can speak on the fact that he know that if he call you, you can put in a call for him to make that meeting. I feel like that right there, that kind of power is what it is that niggas hate about you.
And that's
so they start thinking things in their head, like we said earlier, and not even talking to nobody. You just hate the man because of some shit you thought in your head. Niggas have this perception of you like you run shit. You feel me?
I run some shit, but not enough to stop nobody. You know what I mean? Like, I run stuff that's been in my lane and stuff that I've created, but not nothing to where I can stop you from doing what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? I can't stop you from pressing CDs. I can't even, like, I have a great relationship with the Roseland. But if you call the Roseland and you got the money in the right show, Dave is gonna let you book the Roseland. And he might call me and ask me, what do you think of the show? But if he asks me, I'm not finna tell him, yeah, don't let them do the show. I've got many of those calls, bro, where if I really wanted to be the gatekeeper, like, I could really say, nah, don't do that. He's terrible, you know?
Was there times where you know you should have said that?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, but man, you never want to be the person to stifle somebody's success, or when people talk about it, somebody can say, nah, he said don't let me do it, unless it's something where somebody could die or something like that. You know, like if you have to speak up and say, nah, bro, somebody might get shot at that show or something like that, then that's when you can speak up. But even then, people take stuff the wrong way. You know what I mean? So you gotta be careful in any of those scenarios, because especially in hip hop, you know, like, cats take shit the wrong way and want to, you know, be mad and have beef and funk and all that, even when you in the right. So you gotta balance things out of knowing, like, okay, let me either A, speak up on it, but then also help them navigate the waters to make the shit where they can make it happen. Right. You know what I mean? Because there've been times where somebody say, oh no, we're not gonna let you do the show unless you got Nutz involved, because we know this might be your first time doing a show of this caliber, and he's gonna help you get it together. And I've done that. You know what I'm saying? I've helped a lot of promoters that wasn't real promoters.
And for a person that knows and understands how, like, shows are put together, then that means that a motherfucker got to come with a bag for you.
Sometimes I might not expect nothing unless they make money.
Right.
Bro, it's like, it's so many times, like I said, like, I want to see cats, I want to see, for one, the culture be successful and see shit flourish. And at the same time, of course, I need to make a living, but I understand the dynamics of putting your money into a show and the potential of losing your money. Because I've lost big money on shows. So sometimes if I know we got something that can be fruitful in the end, and I know you got to dump your money into it, I'm not even going to trip. I'm going to be like, yo, we'll figure it out on the backside. Right. Because I'd rather see you make it happen. And also to showcase, like, I'm not greedy like that. Like because I understand economics on these shows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. What you think, Jason? Was that some good game?
I appreciate all the game that we just got.
Thank you.
Bruh, that was heavy. You feel me?
Yeah.
How long we been? Hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got to shake.
Okay. Hey man, before we get up out of here, let's do a round real quick. Another shout out for our sponsors. Pretty dope Xperience. If you want dope music, you got to go out and go get it. If you need that haircut, tap in with my peoples at Kingdom Cuts, 7529 North East Glisan Street, Portland, Oregon. If you need that good foods, you feel me? Fiyah Fusion Foods on Instagram. Jenn Got Cakes on Instagram. Flight Lounge PDX on Instagram. Man, if you still listening, again, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us. You feel me? This is another podcast episode. Everything XL. Cool Nutz. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
My guy. All right, y'all. Tap in.